Laura brought another man home, then kissed him in my living room. When I stared at them, she laughed and said, "Don't look so hurt, Ryan." That's when I realized she wasn't hiding it anymore. The man beside her smiled like he had already won. He was tall, clean-cut, white, with expensive shoes and dead eyes. "Name's Blake," he said, holding out no hand. I didn't react. That's what confused them. Laura walked past me, her shoulder brushing mine like I was a wall. "Blake is staying tonight," she said. "You can sleep in the guest room." She said it so easily, like I had already been moved out of my own life. Blake dropped his leather bag near the couch. My couch. My floor. My house. He was already acting like it was his. I looked at the bag, then at Laura. She wore the red dress I bought her for our anniversary. Now she wore it for him. That was her mistake. "You're quiet," she said. "That's new." Blake chuckled and walked to my bar cart. He picked up my best whiskey. Didn't ask. Didn't pause. He poured 2 glasses. "None for me." She laughed. That one hurt. Not because she cheated. I already felt that knife. It hurt because she wanted me to watch. She wanted me small. Blake lifted his glass toward me. "No hard feelings, man," he said. "Some women outgrow safe men." I stared at him. Calm. Still. He thought silence meant weakness. Laura leaned against him, smiling. "See?" she said. "This is why I chose him. He doesn't just stand there." I said nothing. That's what scared them, though they didn't know it yet. My phone buzzed in my pocket. I ignored it. Blake noticed. "Important?" he asked. I looked at him once. "Not yet," I said. His smile faded for half a second. Then Laura stepped closer. "Ryan, don't make this ugly," she said. "You were never built for a fight." I almost smiled. Because she had no idea. The fight had started months ago. She just arrived late. Blake sat in my chair before I moved. Not the couch. Not the love seat. My chair. The one by the window. The one my father used when he visited before he died. Blake leaned back and spread his arms. "Comfortable," he said. Laura watched my face. She wanted damage. I gave her nothing. I didn't react. That made her crueler. "Say something," she snapped. "For once, act like a man." Blake laughed into his glass. "Careful, babe," he said. "You'll make him cry." She laughed too. Loud. Sharp. Fake. But fake still cuts. That's when I realized humiliation was part of the affair. She didn't just want him. She wanted an audience. Me. I walked to the kitchen and set my keys down. Slow. Clear. Blake followed me with his eyes. "Actually," he said, "you should pack tonight." I turned. Laura didn't stop him. She smiled. "He's right," she said. "This has been over." My chest tightened once. Then settled. "Over?" I asked. My voice stayed even. She blinked, surprised I spoke. "Yes," she said. "Over. I'm tired of pretending you matter here." There it was. The real sentence. Blake stood and walked toward me. Too close. Too proud. "Look, Ryan," he said. "Laura told me everything. The house. The money. The way you coast." He tapped my shoulder with 2 fingers. That was his mistake. I looked down at his hand. He removed it. Fast. "Don't get dramatic," Laura said. "Blake knows how to handle things." Then I saw it. Her purse was open on the counter. Inside, under lipstick and keys, were folded papers. Legal papers. My name was on top. Then I saw the papers. Not divorce papers. Not only that. Property transfer forms. Account summaries. A list of assets. She had prepared this. Blake wasn't just her lover. He was her move. The affair was not the real plan. I looked back at Laura. She saw my eyes drop to the purse. Her smile twitched. Blake noticed too. "Those are private," he said. I nodded once. "I'm sure they are." The room changed. Just a little. Enough. Laura grabbed the purse and snapped it shut. Too late. I had already seen enough. Blake stepped between us like a guard dog in a suit. "You need to leave," he said, "before this gets worse." I looked at Laura. "Is that what you want?" She raised her chin. "Yes." No pause. No shame. "I want you gone." There it was. Betrayal had become eviction. She wasn't hiding it anymore. Blake smiled again, recovering. "See? Clean and simple." He walked back to my chair and sat again. Bigger this time. Bolder. "I'll even help you carry boxes." Laura folded her arms. "You can take the truck," she said. "I'll keep the house." I almost laughed. But I didn't. That's what scared them. I pulled my phone out. Blake leaned forward. "Who are you calling?" I didn't answer. I pressed one contact. One ring. Then a voice answered. "Mr. Carter?" "No," I said. Then I hung up. Laura's face changed. "Who was that?" I put the phone down. "Someone patient." Blake stood. "You think this is a game?" I looked at him. No. The doorbell rang. No one moved. Then it rang again. Laura whispered, "Ryan." For the first time all night, fear touched her voice. I walked to the door and opened it. Two men stood outside. Both in dark suits. One carried a folder. The other held a tablet. Blake scoffed, but it sounded thin. "Lawyers?" he asked. The older man stepped inside. "Representatives," he said. "For Carter Holdings." Blake's face strained. Just slightly. He knew the name. That was interesting. Laura looked between us. "What is Carter Holdings?" she asked. I finally smiled. "Small. Quiet. Mine," I said. Then the room went silent. Blake took one step back. Laura whispered, "No." I looked at her purse. "You should have read deeper." The older man opened the folder. Papers slid into view. Clean. Signed. Final. Hidden control had entered the room. The older man spoke first. "This residence is owned by a Carter Holdings Trust." Laura shook her head. "No. Our names are on the mortgage." He looked at her calm. "Your name is on a loan document. Not ownership control." Blake swallowed. Hard. That was the first honest sound he made. "Wait," he said. "Carter Holdings owns Ridgeline Supply?" The older man turned to him. "Yes." Blake's face went pale. I looked at him. "You know Ridgeline?" He said nothing. That answered everything. The man with the tablet continued. "Mr. Blake Warren has a pending supply contract with Ridgeline." Laura looked at Blake. "What is he talking about?" Blake didn't look at her. He looked at me. Finally seeing me. Really seeing me. He thought silence meant weakness. Now he knew better. I stepped closer. "You came into my house," I said. "Drank my whiskey. Sat in my father's chair. Told me to leave." Blake opened his mouth. Nothing came out. The older man handed him a notice. "Your contract review is terminated." Blake stared at the paper. His hands shook. "That deal was my company," he said. "That was payroll." I nodded. "I know." Laura grabbed my arm. "Ryan, stop. Please." I looked at her hand until she let go. "You brought him here," I said. "You made it public." She cried then. Fast. Ugly. Real. But too late. Karma doesn't need volume. It only needs timing. The older man handed her another paper. Your access to joint discretionary accounts has been frozen pending legal review. Her knees bent slightly. Blake stepped away from her. She noticed. Blake? He didn't answer. He picked up his bag. The same bag he had dropped like a flag. Now it looked heavy. I need to go, he said. Laura stared at him. You said you loved me? He looked at the floor. I didn't know he was him. That was the killing line. She chose him for power. He chose her for access. Both were wrong. Security arrived 5 minutes later. Blake left first. Laura followed with a small suitcase and a ruined face. At the door, she turned back. Ryan, can we talk? I stood beside my father's chair. Calm. Whole. No, I said. You already said enough? The door closed. The house went quiet. My whiskey still sat on the table. His glass was half full. Hers was untouched. Mine was never poured. I walked over and threw both glasses away. She brought him home to replace me. But she picked the wrong man. And he picked the wrong house.